with the sun on their backs and the wind in their...
I respect your metal, sorcerers. You
We are...
This is my I won't see it taken from under my feet. You act!
Oh, for the love of the void. Listen up. We can't win this one, but I can get us to safety. You'll need to buy me time. Show us what you can do, Godwoken.
Godwoken? Parasites, rather.
I'll take care of it, mistress. Let's see how it suits you.
Stop that elf! Her sorcery must be silenced!
It's like lava flowing through me. I can't contain it any longer. I'm ready.
Silence the demon! She must be stopped!
Hold them off. I need more time.
You will not take me again, Dallas.
Let's see how it suits you. That burning. It's like a bomb in my belly, ready to burst.
These rats kill me, we're all done for.
Bring her to her knees. Do it!
He's almost there. A little longer.
Beautiful blaze. Burning. It's like a bomb in my belly, ready to burst.
Bring her to her knees. Do it!
Little gentleman.
With the help of the half-demon malady, the Godwoken escaped through the veil that separates life from death.
The air here has a familiar smell, like the place you grew up. Old memories begin to well within you, but the sweet sour smell of decay suddenly punctures them. A faint creaking sounds in the distance.
Is that a tree? What's hanging from it? Must be a way across. Ralik, the gods. Are they dead? How can this be?
Ralik hangs limp from the tree, cursed branches constricting him, snake-like from foot to shoulders. His helmeted head hangs slack at his side, but a barely audible wheeze rasps from his lips.
Hurry!
Ever-tightening cursed branches constrict the great dwarven god Duna. His eyelids flutter, and his face, bluish and bloated, nods. Amadia hangs before you, her face cut and bruised, her chest barely moving. You think you see a tear run down her cheek. You lean in. That's no tear. It's sauce. The shimmering liquid is seeping from her wounds and dripping to the ground below her. Before you hangs a great ethereal orc, his face twisted in a knot of pain as cursed tendrils constrict him. Tight coils wrap Tyr Sendelius from head to foot. His still face is set to a glowering sneer. Cursed tendrils tighten around Zolstissa. Her lips are moving, but no words seem able to escape her lips. A small, stout imp winces under the countless cursed threads that bind her.
Be gone from here! Where is my champion?
The cursed tendrils slacken. Zolstissa inhales deeply, air wheezing in her throat.
My one. My one.
Your time is short. Your time is short.
Thank you, my child. Thank you.
Be gone. Be gone from here. Ugh. Where is my champion?
As the cursed branches slither away from Ralik, he raises his head. Green eyes glint with sudden fire from behind his helmet.
Are we the first? The others, do they hang still upon the tree?
He strains at the ethereal ropes that bind him, resisting their grip.
You must make haste! I am bound, but not defeated. Not yet. You are my chosen. Now you must become the champion of our kind. The champion of humanity. I have survived our enemies. You must do more than that. You have already unleashed some of the powers locked within you. But there is a great well of possibilities still untapped. You cannot stop until you ascend to the highest heights of your power. You cannot stop until you become divine.
He opens his mouth to respond, but stops and tilts his head, listening for something you cannot detect.
I hear the void. I hear it calling. I hear it laughing. It's coming! It's here! If it finds you here, if it finds you!
Ralik's face twists in fear. He opens his mouth as if to scream, but no sound comes out. White-hot cold pierces your heart like a blade. You are frozen to the spot. The burning cold pumps through you like a curse, and then...
What's happened here? Where is everyone?
The same troubled look is visible on each face. You've seen the gods beaten and defied, strung up as a warning.
Gods, schmods. They aren't interested in me, and I'm not interested in them. It seems whatever's inside me is more powerful than any of them anyway. Or at least more cunning.
I've got my weapon. I've got my wits. And now, I've got a new enemy. If the Void wants me, well, I say let it come. I'm ready.
The Void has been pushed back before by the power of mortals. The gods couldn't handle it. But maybe we can.
This place is strange. I cannot bear you away from here. You must find other means so that we can leave. The one who brought us here. The demon that wears the face of my kin. Only she can set the course back to the land of the living. She is here still. I can feel her.
It's so cold. I haven't felt cold in centuries. What happened? I just remember... Oh no. No, that can't be right. This is wonderful. What a fascinating experience. And I will be able to spend eternity studying you creatures. No more having to watch from the shadows. No more having to walk mysterious social tightropes.
The skeleton pulls a notebook from the folds of his robes and starts scribbling. As you walk away, you hear him muttering about Observations on the Mortal Races, Volume 1. The Red Prince's spirit stands bewildered, his spectral eyes beleaguered by disbelief.
Defeat? I have been defeated. Impossible. Impossible. No. Such is but a different truth. Even here I hear the voices of destiny whisper. I will have my empire yet. I will have my empire yet.
Where have you been? I can't keep this up much longer. We need to go. There's no time. I can't hold us here. Brace yourself. This might hurt. A lot.
The chill of the Hall of Echoes clung to the Lady Vengeance as it returned to the shores of Reaper's Coast. The Godwoken were alive, but what of the gods?
Solid ground materializes beneath your feet. Your weight falls back into your body all at once, and bright sunlight stings your eyes. As your eyes adjust, you realize you're still aboard the Lady Vengeance. A gust of fresh sea air caresses you, and warm sunshine prickles your skin.
One moment, please. Oh, just a moment.
Malady explodes in a fit of retching that racks her body. At last, she sneezes and expels a glob of something shiny and silver onto the deck. It wriggles quickly off the siding and plummets into the sea with a splash.
Ah, better. Let's not do that again anytime soon, hmm? Well, we needed to escape, didn't we? So I took us the one place I was quite certain Dallas couldn't follow. I suppose you recognized the Hall of Echoes from those visions you'd had before. Realm of the dead, realm of divinity. I do hope you learned something useful on our little field trip. Desperate how? I see. So, your god seemed uncharacteristically frightened, told you the void was coming, and that only you could ascend to divinity, after which you felt a cold deep within you. Well then, it sounds like you need to ascend, doesn't it? And quickly.
She inspects her fingernails with great attention, then looks up at you from under an arched eyebrow.
Did they mention how you were meant to become the next divine? Well, luckily for you, Mama Malady is here to help. We already know you can bless, but as far as I know, you can neither see source nor take it as you see fit. I may not know much about divinity, but I do know that any godwoken worth their salt will know how to perform all these so fantastic feats. You need to go see the Meister. As have I, but not in the ways a true godwoken can. Forget those ghastly little jars and wands to which small people must resort. You ought to be able to see and speak to the spirits that wander our realm, and you ought to be able to extract the source they leave behind, too. All this just by your little old onesie. No devices, no gimmicks. When you're done, you'll be able to amass and unleash quantities of source so great that Lucian himself would blush. I quite look forward to seeing it. She's got one of those things in Driftwood, you know, the building where people go and they do things inside of it. A home, that's it. She's got a home in Driftwood. Give me your map. There you are. Tell her I sent you and she'll handle the rest. You're at the beginning of a long journey, Godwoken. Long, but exceedingly interesting. Now, I must be going, and so must you. Why, our faithful little sloop, of course. We can all ride together. Won't that be terribly fun? Shopping. Before you go, if I'm not back by the time you find out where our journey takes us next, you can call me back here. Tell the ship. She'll know how to summon me. And in the unlikely case you don't manage to do whatever it is you'll need to do to become what you need to become, you could call me, but I would be grateful if it doesn't come to that.
Damn it, it's nowhere safe! Red-robed lunatics at sea, those void-woken seedlings in the swamp. It all points to the Great Acorn. It's coming, Quercus! What if it's too late, hmm? What if the Knights of Dre are too far ahead in their plans? Our shield wants me to save the world, Quercus, from the Knights of Dre, as if it knows the first thing about them. You know their order, my friend. Mystic Squirrel Knights, sworn to the Great Acorn, trying to bring about its return.
The squirrel absent-mindedly runs a paw over Quercus's spine. The air fills with the sound of soft, dusty purring.
They plan to inherit the everlasting forest once the acorn drops, and the world is rid of all giants. They believe that only the arboreal will, and should, survive. The shield's bravery is admirable, if a touch stupid. The Knights of Dre are a dangerous, dangerous order. Lunatics, with a single-minded devotion to bringing about the end of the world. Together, Quercus, we can develop some magic to save us from the Great Acorn, if our shield can keep us alive. Yes, it has done an admirable job so far. It certainly lasted longer than I thought it would. But does it understand that we could be wiped out at any moment? Does it understand the risk? Trust. Do you remember trust, Quercus? I'm not sure I do. Well, yes, of course I trust you, Quercus. You're different. But perhaps we should show a little faith in our shield, too.
The squirrel reaches out and touches your ankle, sending a hot flush rippling through your body. Your mind's eye sees new potential spells swirling before it.
Now, listen carefully, shield. The plan is thus. Do not die. If the shield can hold up its end of the bargain, we might just have a chance to complete our research. We might make it yet, Quercus.
Hail, friend, and remember, in Lucian's love there could be no wrong.
If the right
the companion you need, I can provide. I've plenty of fighters for hire. Oh, I...
This shrine fills you with a sense of peace. It is a safe haven. You no longer look without, but within. You understand where your path must take you.
That doesn't sound promising, does it?
The little boy lobs a stone across the river. It makes a long arc before plunging into the water below.
Oh, Ma! Are you all right? Ma!
A screech like metal dragging on stone grinds from across the river.
You have to help her. Please. You can't see her. She's in the house, and those things are all around. Void things. There was a fight. Some dwarves attacked some magisters, and there were sorcerers too. And then the bugs came. Those void things. They killed everyone. And my mom got them to chase her. And she went across the bridge. And then she raised the bridge and she told me to run. And now she's stuck over there with them. I'm not trying to stop them. Just distract them. When they finish whatever they're eating over there, I don't want them to start looking for Ma. She's in our house, but I bet that won't keep them out. You will? It isn't. Ma's in our house across the river. The bugs haven't gotten in yet. I know she's inside. All you need's a way across. Ma lifted the bridge, but there's got to be another way, right? What should I do? Oh, I know.
His gaze shoots to the ground. He grabs a small flat pebble and chucks it across the river. Again, it lands in the water below, well before reaching the other side of the cliffs.
I'll keep distracting him. All right, but if I can help, I will.
He performs a divine order salute.
Now go out, Ma!
A Magister caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy. But what happened?
Can't be real. Not real. Not happening. No, it's not true. Can't be true.
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Get back! I'll kill you, just like the rest of them.
Shh, lass. I know you're all a fright. In times like these, I don't blame you. But I ain't out to hurt you. Now, why don't you take a few breaths and tell me what happened?
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Voidwoken, you mean? Poor thing. No wonder you were scared. I'd be scared too.
Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. And the sorcerers. Gone.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. Oh, Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss, Lohar, will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember.
Lohar, eh? Where will I find this boss of yours?
Oh, well, you'll find him in Effie's Emporium, neath the Black Bull. He's a fine man. A little gruff, yeah. But he's the only one in Driftwood wanting to help and not hurt.
She looks up at Beast through tear-stained eyes. But you can see her resolve hardening as she remembers who she is and what she stands for.
Oh, Seven sympathy. I saw those things dragging the sorcerers along the cliffs towards the Wreckers' caves. No more. It's gone.
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her eyes, she stumbles away from you. A scruffy kid bounds up and stands before you, hands on hips. He stares at your face, doubt screwing up his features.
You Ben Mezd? Yep, that's just what he said you'd say, Ifan. Righto, got a message for you. Chap called Baron Laveri wants to see you. Black Bull Tavern, first floor.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, whistling an off-key tune.
Did you hear? The eggs are gone. Gone for good. No one to keep them warm. No one to keep them safe. Not my eggs, our eggs. All the family, all the eggs, every last one. Big Marge, sir. Big Marge will tell you everything.
I saw! They were stolen! The babies! The eggs! Something took them! Big as a cow! Big as a house! And many legs! Too many! If I showed you, you could bring them back! You could bring them back! Map! Show me your map!
In a flurry of feathers, she leaps up and picks a small hole in your map.
That's where they are. I went after my babies. I saw where they went. But they've changed so much. Much. Bring them back.
Yeah. Guess you're right.
Welcome to Driftwood.
Stick with me, kid. I won't stay. Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt! What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good times. Good times.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I. I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs.
As the
dropped in a
Magister's
vat.
eyes alight upon you, they widen until they are practically bulging out of their sockets. One tremulous finger rises from voluminous robes and points right at you. From her other hand dangles handcuffs.
Ifan Ben Mezd is our living breeze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
One eye squints, the other bulges out even further, as if to compensate.
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you. tricks won't work on me, Ben Mesd.
She considers your offer.
How much? So little. You can sit and think about your stinginess at leisure, in a prison cell. Oh, that's it.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good times. Good times. I wonder if they'll
Hey,
remember
don't
me.
come visit your ton. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You needing supplies? I'd stock up if I were you. It's madness out there. Never seen anything like it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a bath of vinegar. Hey, don't come visit your ton. How you holding up?
Till later then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
I don't come visit your ton. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
If Aunt Ben Mesd is our living...
One eye
Oh, it's you, all right. Your little tricks won't work on me.
She considers.
How much? So much? You have to be hiding something. And I'm sure Dallas will be well able to find out what that something is. Now, come on. Back into a cage where you belong. Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mesd.
The Magister grabs the coin and looks around shiftily, then turns back to you.
Get out of here. And don't let me catch you again.
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of magic.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of
Yep.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying it. Well met, friend. Interested in driftwood's farm?
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
As you will, chum.
You're safe among friends.
Thank the divine you're here. Wars are brewing, my friend, and I'll stand by your side. But prices will go up, even for one of our own. Buy now and buy often.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your tongue, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over.
Have you heard any
Not
news?
like you're buying anything.
Nothing good. The void woken are
If I
everywhere.
don't come visit your tongue,
Thank the
who
divine
will?
you're here to protect us.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, of course.
you're safe among friends. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
The carved figure is a resplendent sight in this ramshackle village. Your touch creates a ripple across the mosaic, as if it were water and not stone. A comforting warmth spreads through you, starting at your fingertips.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia